Welcome into the beautiful poker room. Grab yourself a drink and perch yourself up on the rail as we talk some Wingman poker. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome on into another edition of Wingman Poker Presents On the Rail. I'm your host, Michael Furley, and as always, I really appreciate all you guys for watching this show. And in this show, we will be going over Wingman Poker Tournament number 2 of the 2024 season. So pour your favorite drink, grab a snack, nestle on in, and join me on the rail. All right, Railbirds, in this show, we're going to try things a little bit differently this time around. We are going to split the On the Rail show into 2 parts. So in part 1, we will focus on the hands that are in the early part of the tournament prior to us condensing down to the final table. And in part 2, we will focus on the action of the final table, as well as go over our upcoming events and check in on the updated league standings. So please leave a comment on any of the videos of this show and let me know which format you prefer. The one long episode that has everything in it, or the 2-part, more digestible half-hour episodes that will split the tournament up into 2 parts. All right, guys, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, put a comment in there, and set that notifications up so you know exactly when we get our next episodes uploaded. All right, with that being said, guys, we have now concluded 2 of the 7 regular season tournaments, and it's time to recap the first half of the Wingman Poker Tournament number 2. And in this tournament, we had 11 players, and all 11 players did our SVP, earning themselves a juicy $250 chip bonus. I want to thank you all very much for doing that. It makes my job a little easier in getting the prep done. So as always, our starting stacks were $1,500 in chips. And this time we did have 2 rebuys, as both the Scorpion King and Mr. 300 needed to replenish their chips during that rebuy window. So all said and done with the buy-ins, rebuys, and add-ons, the total chips sloshing around in this tournament was 21,750. And with the buy-ins and rebuys, it created a tournament prize pool of $260, where we had 3 payouts. So our top 3 finishers would earn themselves payouts this time around. For the first place payout would earn $130, and second place would take $78. And third place would take a respectable $52 home with them that evening. All right, guys. So for the poker addicts, it is now time to get into our poker hands. In part 1, I've highlighted approximately 10 hands from the early part of the last tournament for your viewing and scouting pleasure. Okay, guys, enough of the blah, blah, blah. Let's get into some of the poker. All right, let's take a look at our lineups for our last tournament, Wingman Poker Tournament number 2 on Table A. In Seat 1, we had Stephen S., the Doomslayer. In Seat 2, we have the Big Cat, Patty DeVille. In Seat 3, we have Christy H., a.k.a. The Flash. In Seat 4, we have Alicia M., the Scorpion Queen. In Seat 5, we have Jurassic Jordan. And in Seat 6, we had the birthday boy, Gerhard W., the Austrian Assassin. Now let's take a look at our Table B lineup. In Seat 1, we have Katie M., the Murder Hornet. In Seat 2, we have Scott H., Mr. 300. In Seat 3, we have Diane W., the Mother of Dragons. In Seat 4, we have Michael F., Amaze and Spidey. And the winner of our last tournament, we have in Seat 5, Chris M., the Scorpion King.
Let's get ready to shuffle. Shuffle up and deal.
All right, we are starting here at Table A. Our dealers on the left side of the table, that's Patty DeVille. Small blind will be the Flash on the top left. Big blind is a Scorpion Queen on the top right. And first to act will be Jurassic Jordan on the right end of the table. Blinds are at 25-50. It'll be 50 to call. Jurassic Jordan folds. The Austrian Assassin makes the call over the Doomslayer, looking down at a pair of 3s to start off the night. Is he going to call or raise? He makes the call, which I think is the right play. We have a call from Patty DeVille, looks down at an ace-8, ace of diamonds, 8 of clubs. Our small blind, the Flash, fills it up, and our big blind checks it to the flop. Our flop comes out. Ace, 4, 3. Patty DeVille gets top pair of aces. We have a check around from the Flash, Scorpion Queen, and Gerhardt checks over to our Doomslayer, who had a pocket pair of 3, and he hits the set of 3s on the flop, and he bets a smooth 50 as Patty DeVille makes the call with her top pair of aces, and the Flash also makes the call. We have the Scorpion Queen then folds, followed by the Austrian Assassin. So 3 players going to the turn. The turn is a 9 of diamonds. Doesn't help any of our players. First act here will be the Flash on the top left. And she checks it over to the Doomslayer, who bets out another $50, keeping everyone on the line. Patty DeVille makes the call, and the Flash folds. We have a pot of 500 going to the river. River comes out 2 of spades. That makes a flush draw and a straight draw out there on the board, scaring off some of our players. So the Doomslayer is first to act, and he checks. Patty DeVille bets 50 with her top pair of aces. And now it's over to the Doomslayer. Is he going to call, raise, or fold? He's got a great hand, but there are some good draws out there to be concerned about. He does make the call. They show the hand, and the Doomslayer with a set of 3s takes this one down. A nice pot of 600 to start off the day. All right, so now we move over to table B. Our dealer is on the bottom right, the Scorpion King. Big blind is the Murder Hornet. Small blind's the Murder Hornet. Big blind is Mr. 300. First to act will be the Mother of Dragons on the top right. Mother of Dragons folds over to Amazing Spidey on the right end. He also folds back to our dealer, the Scorpion King, and he raises to 150. Over to our small blind, the Murder Hornet. It's going to cost 125 for to stay in. She folds her small blind. But the big blind, Mr. 300, makes the call. So we have a pot of 325, 2 players. The flop comes out 9, 7, Jack, giving Mr. 300 top pair of jacks with a strong kicker to boot. And he checks it over to the Scorpion King, who bets 225 and a quick call from Mr. 300. The turn comes out 3 of hearts. Top pair of jacks still looking good. No immediate flush draws out there, although the diamonds are strong. Mr. 300 checks it over to the Scorpion King, and he leads out 425. Mr. 300 makes the call again, so our pot's up to 1625. A 5 of diamonds comes out. So the flush draw is realized for those who might have it. So we have a check from Mr. 300, who has top pair and strong kicker. He checks it to the Scorpion King. He's been leading out on all of these turns here, but he checks it down, and he mucks it. So the pocket pair of jacks is going to take this one down. A nice pot of 1625 as Mr. 300 holds strong on all the lead out bets. Good calls and holds on. Back over to table A. Our blinds are up to 50 and 100. Our dealer is the Flash in the top left. Small blind is the Scorpion Queen. Big blind is Jurassic Jordan. First to act will be the Assassin. And the Austrian Assassin folds over to the Doomslayer on the bottom left. It'll be 100 to make the call. He does make the call. Over to Patty DeVille, who also makes the call. Up to our dealer, the Flash, looks down at a Jack King offsuit. She makes the call, as does the Scorpion Queen. So we have 5 players in this hand. Nice pot of 500 going to the flop. Flop comes out Queen, Jack, Jack. Jurassic Jordan looks down at 2 pair queens and jacks, and he's going to follow the check. He bets out 200 over the Doomslayer. It'll be 200 to stay and play. He folds. Patty DeVille, 200 to call. And she folds. Now over to the Flash, who flopped a set of jacks and a strong kicker to boot. And she makes the call of 200. So we have 2 players going to the turn. Both these guys have monster hands, 900s in the pot. We have a 3 of diamonds. Jurassic Jordan will be first to act as he has 2 pair. He puts 200 in once more over to the Flash, who has a set of jacks. Oh, she only calls, trying to keep him on the line a little longer. This pot's up to 1,300. The Scorpion Queen folded earlier, but just forgot to put her cards in. The river card is a jack. Oh, we have a quad jacks for the Flash and a full house for Jurassic Jordan. Oh, mercy me. They both check it. Oh, this could have been a big loss for Jurassic Jordan, but he'll take the minimal loss considering his monster hand. So this potentially had a chance to be a bad beat jackpot as a full house, 10s or better lost. But let's see if this actually will make the payout for a bad beat jackpot. As we check in on our bad beat jackpot rules real quick. So in order for you to lose in a bad beat, you must have a full house 10s or better. But the stipulation is that you must play the hand all the way through to the river. Both players did. There was no folding. But both of your whole cards must make the hand. And this is where we fall just short. As the Flash's both cards played, as her jack caught the quads and her king was the best kicker. But the 5 did not play in Jurassic Jordan's hands. There was not a bad beat jackpot, even though both hands were very strong. Okay, we are back over to table B. The blinds on this table is also at 50 and 100. Our dealer is the Murder Hornet. Small blind is Mr. 300. Big blind is Mother of Dragons. And first to act will be Amazing Spidey. And he looks down at a pocket pair of 3s. And he makes the call. Over to Scorpion King, looks down at 10-9 offsuit, and he too makes the call. A fold from the Murder Hornet. A call from Mr. 300. And the big blind checks the Mother Dragon. So we have 4 players in this hand. The pot's at 400. Here comes the flop. The flop is 10, 8, 3. The Scorpion King gets top pair of 10s, but Amazing Spidey flops trip 3s. We have a check from the Mother of Dragons, so now it's over to Amazing Spidey, who bets 100. Over the Scorpion King. Is he going to raise here? He does raise to 325.
Lines are up next hand. No, I have sorry.
Actually, to 375. My mistake there. He raises a 375. So it is over to Mr. 300. He folds over to the Mother of Dragons. It'll be 375 to make the call. She folds. It'll be 275 for Amazing Spidey to make the call. But he raises all in 1375 on top. So it'll be 925 to call for the Scorpion King, who's looking at top pair. Man, he's got to think he's ahead right now. What is he worried about here? There were no raises going into this, so the range is a little wide. Maybe a better kicker. He's got it. That's probably most concerned with a 10 jack, 10 ace. So Amazing Spidey has the Scorpion King covered in chips. So if the Scorpion King wants to call this, he's going to be all in. Spidey has bet all in, but he is not at risk of losing all of his chips in this hand as we're down to just these last 2 players.
I want to see what's up because it might be a bad beat. Hold on a second. Just leave the board still. Don't touch anything.
Scorpion King makes the call just short of what the all-in bet was. He puts 550 in. Amazing Spidey pulls back the overage. The total pot is 2250. Scorpion King's chips are at risk. They flip the cards over, and the Scorpion King sees the bad news. An Ace of Hearts comes out, and then a King of Diamonds does not help him with his straight.
All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to pause the clock. We got something on.
So Amazing Spidey, the set master, does it again. He gets all of the Scorpion King's chips. And if Chris wants to stay and play, he'll have to pay, and he will rebuy to stay alive.
Just so you know.
All right, moving back over to table A, our blinds have once again increased to 75-150. Our dealer is the Scorpion Queen on the top right. Small blind is Jurassic Jordan. Big blind is the Austrian Assassin. And first to act will be the Doomslayer. And the Doomslayer's looking down at Queen 8 suited, both clubs. Queen 8 of clubs. There'll be 150 to call.
Did you have a flush draw? Did you have a flush draw, Chris? You had black draw.
I had straight draw. Well, I mean,
Yours 150. Oh, okay. I didn't see the black. Sorry.
Well, you know. No, I was definitely. I think you had a flush draw. 150 call.
yeah.
So again, we're at the Doomslayers. Got a decent hand here. You know, queen's not bad. It is suited and makes you kind of a little more interested to see what kind of flop you're going to get. It will be 150 to call. It looks like he's reaching for chips. And he does make the call over to Patty DeVille. She also makes the call. We have a fold from the Flash, a fold from the Scorpion Queen.
You're only going to the door of the buzzer with
Let's get ready to shuffle.
Jordan makes the call from the small blind and the big blind check. So we have 4 players going to the flop, 600 in the pot. Here comes the flop. 3, 3, Jack. So we have the Jurassic Jordan flops top pair, making it 2 pair, jacks and 3s. But there are 2 clubs on the board for the Doomslayer. So we have a lead out bet here of 150 for Jurassic Jordan, a fold from the Austrian Assassin, and then we have a raise from the Doomslayer. He raises the 250 total. He is all in. And we have a call from Jurassic Jordan. So the Doomslayer is all in. The pot's up to 1,000. The 9 comes out. And another jack. So he ends up with a full house. Jacks over 3s. Oh my.
Fatality.
And the Doomslayer elects not to rebuy, even though he's in the rebuy window. So with that being said, Jurassic Jordan slays the Doomslayer, ending his night early, and Jurassic Jordan earns the kill, and no one survives Jurassic Park.
kind of like, if I don't ask for the night before, I can like just kind of get up, and if I get up, I'll go.
All right, we are back over to table B. Let me just pause it real quick. All right, so on the bottom right, that is still the Scorpion King, but as is our new tradition, the first player to rebuy will acquire the Donkey Bounty disc for their bounty chip going forward. So that is the Scorpion King on the bottom right. He's got the Donkey Bounty disc, and we're going to play from here. The blinds at this table, too, are at 75 and 150. Our dealer is Mr. 300. Small blind is the Mother of Dragons, and big blind is Amazing Spidey. The Scorpion King thought he was the big blind, so he called in the dark. So he's already called at 150 over the Murder Hornet, who folded, and Mr. 300 called. It is an option to our small blind of the Mother of Dragons with her pocket pair of 3s, and she makes the call. So we have 4 players going to the flop for 600. Mr. 300 was looking down at an ace-10 offsuit. All right, let's check out the flop here. King 3, Jack. For the 3rd time tonight, the pocket pairs of 3s becomes a set of 3s on the flop. She leads out with the 300 or the 250 bet. Amazing Spidey folds. So does the Scorpion King. And we have a call from Mr. 300, who's got a straight draw. And now a nut flush heart draw. So he is in great shape. He has tons of outs. But first to act will be the Mother of Dragons, who's still looking at her set of 3s.
There's 8.5 minutes. And then we have a break. We have a break in 8 minutes.
This is all in, right? That was the original call. Yeah. Threes for that.
Raise.
So we have a bet from a 300 from the Mother of Dragons, and then we have a raise from Mr. 300 to 850. So it'll be 550 to make the call for the Mother of Dragons. There are big time draws out there. Big raise. Mother of Dragons does have the set.
If she's saying that, then she needs to catch another one. At least I'm good right now.
I don't know what I don't know if I would just call here or shove. I think I'd shove and put the pressure on and know for sure if you're, well, I don't know who has more chips. Definitely not folding. Let's put it that way. The Mother of Dragons with a set of threes. She makes the call. The pot's up to 2,800. A big pot going to the river. It is an ace, which does improve Mr. 300's hand, but not the way he was hoping, as he wanted a flush or a straight. He gets neither, making it impossible to get off this hand because he has a pair of aces. We have a bet of 575 from the Mother of Dragons to go all in. Our pot's at 33.75. Mr. 300's already priced in at this point with a top pair. He's going to have to make the call and pay off the Mother of Dragons.
Kind of like your hand a minute ago. Where you hit the king.
That stinks when your hand improves, but it doesn't hit the draw you're really looking for. He does make the call. This pot is at 39.50, a huge pot. The Mother of Dragons shows her set of threes, and she is going to take this one down, not making friends with Mr. 300, but she does take in the chips, and what's more important, the chips or friendship. I'll let you guys answer that question. But the Mother of Dragons, this is the third time a set of threes has won a big hand. All right, we're staying here at table B. Blinds are still at 75, 150. I believe this is the very next hand. The dealer is the Mother of Dragons. Small blind is Amazing Spidey. Big blind is the Scorpion King. And first to act will be the Murder Hornet, looking down at ace 3 of diamonds. She's got a suited ace.
Good presence. I don't know.
She had a set and stuck with it. I mean, multiple ways she could have got beat, but
The Murder Hornet makes the call, as does Mr. 300, over to the Mother of Dragons. Our pot's at 525 already. Mother of Dragons folds over to Amazing Spidey, who was the small blind. It looks like he folds that small blind, and we've checked from the big blind. Pot's at 525 with 4 players going to the flop.
Can't handle it. You shouldn't win it.
Mr. 300 had a 10-8 offsuit. I forgot if I mentioned that or not. The flop comes out 4-8 Jack. So Mr. 300 gets a middle pair. But there are 2 diamonds on the board for the Murder Hornet to have a strong flush draw.
475.
The table checks around to Mr. 300, who bets all in for 475. So we have a fold from. Sorry, what was that?
I'm undefeated on the day. Need MC6. Oh,
We got a fold from the Scorpion King. It's over to the Murder Hornet. It's going to be 475 to make the call. I don't know how many chips she has. She's got a great draw, but she is behind at the moment. She makes the call. Our pot is 1475. Mr. 300 is all in. He's trying to avoid a diamond.
she's going for it.
Oh, and the first card is a diamond, giving the Murder Hornet the victory right on the turn. Mr. 300 is drawing dead.
Still have to run the next card.
Not really.
Just to finish it off for a mere formality. And the Murder Hornet swarms the injured Mr. 300 as his first throw is in the gutter ball. He'll have to try and pick up the spare, as he'll have to pay to stay, and he'll rebuy to stay alive. Oi, oi, oi. We have 2 rebuys on table B, but we are back over to table A. As you can see, we have an empty spot where the Doom Slayer has been eliminated, so this table is down to 5 players. Table B is at 5 players with 2 rebuys. Blinds are still at 75, 150. Our dealer is Jurassic Jordan. Small blind is Gerhardt, the Austrian assassin. Big blind is Patty DeVille. First to act will be the Flash, looking down at a suited 8-10 of hearts. The Flash makes the call over to the Scorpion Queen. Scorpion Queen folds over to Jurassic Jordan, who makes the call.
Draw caught. Right away.
Our small blind fills it up. Our big blind checks. So we have 4 players going to the flop. Pot's at 600. Here comes the flop. It's a little hard to see, so we're going to put the labels up in the middle of the table to help us realize the cards. The flop comes out King, 3, 9, 2 clubs on the board. The Austrian assassin flops top pair, and he leads out with a $150 bet. Over to Patty DeVille.
He does not take pennies. Did you hear Alicia? Babe? Yeah.
Patty DeVille folds.
Babe, did you hear Alicia? He doesn't take take pennies.
Like, you got all those.
We have a call from the flash, a fold from the Scorpion Queen. Our, the turn card is an 8 of diamonds. We have a nice lead up bet of 300 now from the Austrian Assassin, who is still looking at top pair. And with the middle pair, the flash makes the call. Jurassic Jordan has already folded. The river comes out an ace of spades. That's going to slow down the betting with the overcard out there. And the Austrian Assassin is going to show that his pair of kings is good enough. He takes down a nice pot of 1,500. Still at table A, but the blinds are up to 100 and 200. The rebuy window is now closed. So we've just come back from break. Our dealer is Patty DeVille. Small blind is the flash. Big blind is the Scorpion Queen. And first to act will be Jurassic Jordan looking down at an ace deuce. And he raises all in right off the bat here. Jurassic Jordan goes all in for 275.
Still have to bet regular.
We have a fold from the Austrian Assassin. And now it's over to Patty DeVille. Looks down at King Jack offsuit.
Yeah, you'd have to four.
So if Patty wants to call,
Yeah.
We're not sure of the true etiquette here, if she can just call 275 or if she has to put in a minimum raise. So she puts in 400, which is enough to get rid of both of the blinds. She'll take the overages back. So the pot is at 850. We have two players. Jurassic Jordan is all in. So we have an ace deuce versus a king jack.
Yeah.
9, 5, 10, 2 spades. So the spade draw is good for Jurassic Jordan, but he is ahead with his ace right now. The next card is a 3 of spades. And the last card is a jack. Oh! River Donkey. Patty DeVille gets a jack on the river to get a pair and knocks out Jurassic Jordan.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, Jurassic Jordan has been eliminated by Patty DeVille. So we have 5 players on table B. We're down to 4 players now on table A. So the next elimination will bring a we'll combine the tables into the final table. So in this hand, we have the dealer is the Mother of Dragons. Small blind is Amazing Spidey. Big blind is the Scorpion King. First to act will be the Murder Hornet, who already folds. Just let me pause it here just to clean up. So Mr. 300 is still on the top left, but he has his secondary bounty disc of the Comedian button from the Watchman. He folds as well. So over to the Mother of Dragons. And she folds. So Amazing Spidey is the small blind looking down at a 6-10 suited of diamonds. He fills up the small blind and the big blind checks as the Scorpion King looks down at 10-8 offsuit. All right, so on this one we have the flop is Jack 9 deuce. Doesn't hit anyone's board, although the Scorpion King has an open-ended straight draw. Amazing Spidey is first to act here. Amazing Spidey checks. And the Scorpion King checks. So we go, the turn is a 4 of diamonds. So he still has an open-ended straight draw, but Amazing Spidey gets a little closer with the diamond draw. This time, Amazing Spidey's going to lead out with 200 and a quick call from the Scorpion King. Queen of Diamonds. Oh, what a tough card for the Scorpion King, as now he got his straight, Queen high, but Amazing Spidey river donkeys this one as he gets the flush on the river. Oh, man. So Amazing Spidey leads out 450. And we have a raise from the Scorpion King to 800. So it'll be 350 to call from Amazing Spidey, who got the flush. He has the chips. Think he's going to make the call. He makes the call, shows that he has the flush, and oh my goodness. Oh man, so Chris gets eliminated by Amazing Spidey. Once again, the Scorpion King gets caught in Amazing Spidey's web. I am not sure what Chris did to Mike, but Amazing Spidey sends the Scorpion King off to the rail. So we will now combine our tables and we're going to set up the final table here. All right, guys. So on the final table of Wingman Poker Tournament number 2 of the 2024 season, we're going to have Amazing Spidey, Michael F. in seat 1. Patty DeVille will be in seat 2. The Flash, Christy H. will take up seat 3. Alicia M., the Scorpion Queen, will be in seat 4. Scott H., Mr. 300, will be in seat 5. Our birthday boy, Gerhard W., the Austrian Assassin, will be in seat 6. Diane W., the Mother of Dragons, will be in seat 7. And Katie M., the Murder Hornet, will be in seat 8. We're going to leave it right here, guys, as we're going to get ready to end part 1, and we'll pick it up the rest of the tournament in part 2. All right, guys, we are now down to 8 players. What an exciting first half of this tournament. The theme so far, I would say, is that trip threes are avoiding the draws and getting big paydays and early knockouts. A near bad beat happened with those quad jacks beating a full house. Unfortunately, that it did not meet the requirements for a bad beat jackpot, but still an incredible hand nonetheless. And unfortunately, the Doomslayer, Jurassic Jordan, and the Scorpion King were knocked out early this time around and were not able to make it down to the final table. But we are now down to 8 players, and in part 2 of this episode on the rail, we will pick up from here and focus in on the final table all the way to the end. And of course, we're going to check out the rest of the Wingman Poker Tournament number 2 of the 2024 season. I want to thank you all so very much for watching this part 1 of this episode. And please let me know which format you prefer in the comment section, the 1-part or 2-part. So thank you, thank you, thank you. With that being said, may your cards be live, your pocket aces hold, and we will see you next time.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.